guys, it's Pinder. We're at Weber Academy. What are we doing here? It's the middle of winter. They got baseball. Hang on. Mike Soroka, Calgary's own, training here, getting set for the 2025 MLB season with the Washington Nationals. I'm an idiot. I'm going to stand in the batting box when he throws like 95. Let's go. Hey, it's another edition of Joe's Against Pro. No, it's not. How we doing, Mike?
Good, how are you?
Good. Okay, so we're here at Weber. Walk us through where you're at in your off season and I guess your routine to get ready to throw. Today you're throwing a bullpen, but you obviously don't do that every day.
No, we're getting pretty close here. I'm only about a month to report, so official report day will be the 12th.
Okay.
Today got a little bullpen, and it's about a twice a week thing, maybe 3 times as we get into it, and trying to build a little stamina, a little pitch count. It's kind of, as a starter, you got to get going quite a bit earlier because you got to be ready to add pitch count once you get to spring training and go 2, 3, 4 innings. So we're just kind of going to take you through the big day here and big warm-up prep routine and maybe get you some ground balls and we'll be in a good place by the time you get in the box.
How long does it take when you show up in the building, get the gear on? What's that process like? I imagine in the 80s it was like rip a dart, get in there and throw, but things are a little more sports science in depth than they used to be.
Yeah, I think just with the way performance has been over the last decade, I mean, even when I got called up, it wasn't quite as, I don't want to say quite as good. I just mean it's a little more competitive now with what guys are doing off the field. And I think we kind of came into a place where I was one of the only kids that was drafted out of high school at that time that was in the weight room. That was benefit of being in Canada and having that winter to just kind of get bigger and stronger. But now, I mean, I travel around the facilities and I see kids that are about to enter the draft that are, miles ahead of where I was at that point, and a lot of it's due to this stuff in here. So it's probably a good hour before I start to throw.
Okay.
And most of it isn't necessarily just in the name of warming up. It's priming and preparing yourself to do the job that you want to do. We only get so many throws, right?
Yeah.
I can't sit down there and hit and
take 1,000.
Yeah. You can take 1,000,000 hockey shots. You can rip it all day, and the worst thing that'll happen is you'll have some blisters, but you tape it up, get back out there. Whereas, me, I throw 1,000 baseballs today.
You're no good tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be throwing much the rest of this year. So it's something you got to learn, but I think being here and being able to just kind of have this place to work out in has been amazing at home. I get to basically just be here all day and work on what I need to and take some snack breaks and get back to it. There's always stuff to work on, always mobility to work on, always power and strength, stuff like that. So it's never ending.
Second full off season that this place has been fully functional and open, but when you talk about Weber, you used to train in Jupiter, Florida, and it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I think it's Jupiter, where you're down in a place where baseball is king, and you get people from all over the Caribbean and Americans training there in the winter, nice weather. You're choosing to stay in Calgary. That probably speaks volumes about the facility you're using here.
Yeah, obviously family's still here, and
of course,
everybody. This is still always going to be home for me, I think. So being able to have this place to come back to and know that I can work with Chris. We got some good competition with the high school kids that are in here and working out. It's a lot of fun to see them progress.
Okay.
So I'll still head south earlier. I'll head to Phoenix next week, actually. But
all right.
This is amazing because it allows me to kind of come back and have a great spot to work out. It's 10 minutes from where my parents' place is.
How good is that, eh?
It doesn't get better.
And not like someone's garage, but a world-class facility.
Yeah, no, I don't have to worry about throwing into a wall for weeks on end, and just to be home and visit family. So very thankful that Dr. Weber put this place together, and it's pretty amazing.
Deadly. All right, we're going to stretch in a bit. We'll get out there, have some fun, but we're getting warm. And I'm really sick of pretending to do this bike. You're way too big. You're making me look tiny. All right, we are rolling it out, Mikey. I love a good roll because when I walk around the gym, it's usually like just making up things to do rather than actually lift weights. Rolling, awesome for that. Really good for that.
Yeah.
What are you working on here?
I get tight real quick.
Okay.
So, I mean, it doesn't seem to matter what I do. I think I'm built for a little more stability rather than mobility.
Okay.
So this is something that I've had to do for, 2-3 years, big time, where I really realized that
Sure.
this is what I kind of had to spend time doing before and after workouts. Like I was saying, it's one thing if you got somebody that can work on you.
The full-time staff,
twice a day. It's but we're not there yet.
Okay.
It's just the little things that kind of add up over time. I'm still shocked that if I'm traveling for a weekend or something like that, I come back and haven't really gotten a chance to take this stuff seriously. How terrible I feel.
Really, yeah.
And I wouldn't even say how terrible I feel. It's just a matter of like, once you know what it feels like to be at your best, anything less than that is just not acceptable.
I think of average Joes, and it's just like we're not finely tuned athletes, and you know exactly what peak performance feels like and looks like. And if something's a little bit off, it's like, well, how am I going to go strike out the best hitter in the National League, right? Like it's
and
peak
you
performance has to work at both ends, right?
You make it work. You're never really going to feel 100 during the season. It's pretty rare that happens. And typically those are the days where you try and do too much and you get whacked.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those things for me where like you're trying to just be as close to that as you can be.
Yeah.
And these are the little things that kind of add up for that. So, it's once you get the timing down too, you golf, once you're used to that certain swing, if something is abnormally tight on any other day, you have to adjust.
Yeah.
Because you got to find the new timing for that. And, say you pop a rib out, you got a loose rib in the back, and all of a sudden you can't rotate the same, and you kind of got to figure it out on the fly. And that's where hopefully doing this stuff minimizes those days. So.
Okay, so we have you in studio. We usually catch up on the air at least once in off season.
Yeah.
Last off season, you'd spent your career with one professional organization, the Braves. They drafted you, they developed you, you came up through their system. And so while you certainly knew about the bigs, you had the perspective of one of the 30 organizations.
Yeah.
Last year, you're with Chicago. Now you've signed with a third organization. How much different organization have you noticed, or did, I guess, the pro sphere of MLB, now that you've been a team that won the World Series while you were there and one that was historically bad, like you probably got more perspective than you did.
Yeah. Obviously it was a rough year for the White Sox. There's no real sugarcoating it.
Yeah.
I think that's where people get into mistakes is when they say, it actually wasn't as bad as it looked. And, you honestly, like, there was a lot that went out about the clubhouse, and I actually thought the clubhouse was just fine. There was a lot of good guys on that team. It's just sometimes you're not built to win on a consistent basis. And, we talk about that perfect storm of, injuries and timing and things happening, and led to losing a lot of close games, and then you kind of get in a rut, and then, before you know it, it's where it was at the end of the year. So, I think there was a lot that I was able to learn from it, especially kind of getting a kick in the teeth and getting moved to the bullpen and, May on the worst team in baseball. It's something that kind of wakes you up a little bit, and you realize that, you have a career to play for, and regardless of where the energy is compared to being on the best team in the league, you got to show up and perform. And, I'm proud of myself for being able to kind of pull through that and make sure that, I put my best foot forward every day. And obviously it paid off to kind of turn things around for myself personally by the end of the year.
So that you're speaking of free agency, you've signed a 1-year contract. What did you expect the interest would be from other teams? And what was your, free agency opens, World Series ends? What was it like going through that process?
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I think, Mark Pieper, my agent at ISC Baseball, actually, I am. ISC Baseball shirt here today, but he did a really, really good job of telling the full story to the teams that he talked to. I think he had 4 of us that were free agents this year and was able to kind of go in those rooms and show people the differences between where I was at the beginning of the year and towards the end, and how it was intentional. It wasn't just kind of something that I accidentally came into.
Yeah.
I think that was really important for him to be able to show that. After that, it was just kind of going to be a matter of whether these teams wanted to give me another crack at starting. That was my biggest thing. The dollar value at the end of the day came behind just the opportunity to start again. I still think that's where my skill set lies best, and where I can affect the team the most positively. I'm looking forward to doing that. And I had a great meeting with the Nationals. It was pretty clear out of the get-go that we kind of both had the same vision for what I wanted personally, as well as what I could provide for the team. It's a high-energy squad, a lot of young guys. We got a lot of prospects coming up, which I got to be that prospect in 18, 19 with Braves. So it was something that I thought would be a lot of fun joining on the other side. And I think it's going to be a good year.
You know the division really well too, which we spoke about. Like, it's, who are these guys? No, you faced a lot of these guys in the NL East. That's got to be comforting at some degree.
Absolutely. It's just the Phillies. I think the Phillies probably changed the least since I've been there, and I pitched against them last year too. But I think that whole division, the familiarity of it, and the competitiveness in that division. Obviously, I know a lot of the guys personally that are with the Braves. It's going to be a fun one, getting to pitch against them all year.
No kidding.
I think, it always helps, and I told you it also helps kind of going out there as a pitcher where I don't need to read 100 reports. I don't need to feel like I'm going in, blind. I think that's fun too. That's the part of baseball that I enjoy, is the actual game within the game. So,
sure, that chess match against the hitter. You've done it a lot with a lot of these guys.
Right, and I think it's a lot of fun once you get the rapport with those guys that they've seen you over the years. They've seen you change. They've seen ups and downs. I think you can get a lot from just watching how they're swinging, and you know what you're expecting. So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I don't know if I want to get in the box with this, guys. Scary stuff. Bit of power here.
See, there's your old school warm-up.
You know what happened when I was in the bullpen? Get up, get ready. Wham! I'm ready. Now this guy's got to go, I got to tighten my spancel, and I got to make sure all my
Spancel? What is a spancel?
Okay, so the season ends. How much Calgary time do you get? I mean, we all vacation in the summer. That's your work season. You get to vacation in the glorious Alberta winter.
It'd be a lot more fun if I could still snowboard.
Fair.
This will be a lot of the first thing I do when I retire. I hit the mountain,
the slopes.
But,
yeah.
Actually, took my first actual vacation this year to Hawaii.
Come on.
So I hadn't taken one since pro ball started. So took those 10 days. Figured it was a good time to just kind of decompress and then get back to it. And I didn't really get home till mid-December. I moved to Arizona and did all that, and went. Just probably about 3 or 4 weeks here this offseason, so a little quick.
One of the things you get to do is you get to watch your beloved Flames when you come back to Calgary.
Yep.
What were your expectations coming in this year? What's caught your eye? What are your thoughts on state of the Flames?
Yeah, I mean, we all knew it was going to be, young. It was kind of an opportunity for those guys to come up and play a little bit and kind of show what they'd been doing in the A for the last few years. I mean, I feel like there's been talk. You guys have been talking about a few of them for a long time now. It's good to see them in action and, being able to relate to what it's like to be at the top and the adjustments that need to be made. And, obviously, I was excited to watch Sharangovich again this year. He was a lot of fun last year, and I think eventually he'll figure it out. And we were talking earlier, just gotta kind of keep getting pucks to the net, and I think we get there. But there's a lot of talent on the ice. It's just kind of going to be, I guess we'll see what they want to do by the deadline here and figure things out. But I always want to see a competitive team, and they're working hard, so I can appreciate that.
As a former goalie, as a failed goaltender, how much do you love too small Dustin Wolf?
It's honestly so we went and saw a couple preseason games a couple years ago, and he did. I was like, geez, there's quite a bit of room at the top, but once you get a chance to watch him on a nightly basis, I mean, he's just so fast. And actually was in Indianapolis, spoke to one of the goaltenders there for the EC team there. Yeah. And I asked him about Wolf, and he's like, man, he moves like nobody else, and I wish the big frames could move like that, but it's something that is lost in today's game a little bit, but it's cool to watch him go do that, and the hop at the beginning to show off a little athleticism.
I love it,
fun too.
The pounce on the skates, I haven't seen that before. So what is it, a couple games in off-season, and then you keep tabs when you'll be back in mid-Feb in terms of down south, harder to find the games on TV perhaps?
Yeah, NHL Network comes in handy. It's only one this year got to go to, and it was a good game, but I'd like to be able to be there a little more, and it's fun to follow the guys. I think there was some laughs. We're sitting right behind the bench, and Tate McRae was at that game up the score, and you could see the peaks up the bench, and made me laugh because we sneak our peaks depending on who's at the games too. So it's kind of fun to see that from the stands.
Well, you got to invite Tate down. You might be spoken for. Okay,
probably not. Probably not for me.
Someone else. All right. We're going to do something crazy. I'm going to get out and see if I'm still alive after Mike throws 90-something near me.
Well, maybe we'll get some shoulder pads for you, but
yeah,
as long as they're not Lombergs, I think they'll do something.
Okay. Awesome. Looking forward to it. This is dumb decisions, but it's me, so I'm used to these, right? That should make it easier. You can hear it ripping the air. Like, holy fuck. What pitch?
Let's run one in here.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Let's just do it.
Thanks, guys. Did you move that on me, or am I just a huge chicken shit?
That's a curveball.
That's a curve, okay. Oh.
The hardest thing for me to have done was see a right-on-right breaking ball.
Yeah.
Like you saw that one coming like right here.
Yeah, I'm like, that's hitting me.
I gotta get out.
And that's a strike.
That wasn't a good one even.
Well.
Those are ones that pop where good hitters typically are gonna see that, stick in, and then catch it.
Yeah. Hey, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Ton of fun. Have a great year.
Thank you.
We're all rooting for you. Calgary loves you. You're a great kid. We want to see good things happen to good people, and I think you got a great opportunity this year.
Appreciate you guys coming in. It's a lot of fun. We've been talking about it for a while.
Yes.
So I'm glad we finally got it in.
Mostly chalked up to me being a chicken shit, but we survived.
You did good.
My kids still have a dad. Success.
You did good.
Thanks, buddy.